Hey everybody, it's Jeff
And Brittany.
from Our Paradise Falls. We also have Connor here with us. Hey Connor! We are here with Courtney and Dexter on our new segment called Cast Member Spotlight.
And they're going to give us a little insight on what it means to be a cast member. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do for Disney.
I'm Dexter. I work in attractions at Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, and I work in the Tomorrowland, where I work at the Carousel of Progress, the People Mover, and the Astronaut.
I'm Courtney, and I work as a PhotoPass photographer in the Magic Kingdom. Do you remember when you first fell in love with Disney, and how did it happen? That's a great question. I grew up coming to Walt Disney World, and I think the thing that cemented it for me was actually my first role at Walt Disney World. I was a tour guide and eventually a gangster at the Great Movie Ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios, formerly Disney MGM Studios. And that attraction, the first time I rode it, I remember it being so special. It was something unlike any other attraction at Walt Disney World. And I felt surprised, delighted, scared. Because, I mean, you remember the alien scene with the xenomorph popping out of the ceiling, and the scene with the Temple of Anubis where you're the gangster or the bandit who hijacks your car disappears and turns into a skeleton. So whenever I would come back to Walt Disney World, that's one of the things that always was like a must-do for me. And seeing the way that each cast member made it their own and sort of put their own stamp on the attraction really inspired me to become a cast member in the first place. But Disney's always felt inherently magical to me.
I would have to say that I fell in love with Disney when I came here at the age of 5 years old. My family came down and we did the whole shebang. Did all the roller coasters, ate all the food, met all the characters, and then ever since I've just loved Disney. And I've been working with the company for about 7 years now.
Out of all your positions while working at Disney World, what is your favorite and why? I touched on this a little bit before, but my favorite was definitely working at the Great Movie Ride. It was something that I had always wanted to do. Every time we came when I was growing up, my mom would point to the cast members working that attraction, and she would look at me and she would go, "You need to be doing that." So it was genuinely such an amazing feeling to accomplish that goal. And I think the cherry on top was when I was trained to be a gangster and I finally got to, play the other side and hijack the vehicles and get into the shootout with all the other gangsters. Seeing the inside of that attraction was really amazing, and how everything worked and how many people went into making that attraction truly magical.
Having worked in attractions the entire time I've been at Disney, I'd have to say that my least favorite kind of became my favorite position, the grouper position at any attraction. The one where you have to kind of load everybody into the ride at once. It kind of becomes Tetris after a while, and it becomes like a game. And like over the course of however many years, I've just gotten very good at like loading people into the ride.
We're going to give you guys a tough one. Out of all the amazing moments that you've had, is there one special memory that comes to mind?
When I worked at the Toy Story Mania, about like 5 or so years ago, I remember this child got into the ride and he had his plush Stitch with him. He set him next to himself and put the lap bar down onto him and made sure that his 3D glasses were adjusted properly so that he got to experience the ride the same way he did. And it was just very, very nice to see.
I've had a lot of really amazing experiences over my last 5 years at Disney. The thing that makes Disney and working at Disney special to me is meeting amazing guests. And it sounds really corny, but when we were blessed enough to meet you guys, that's definitely a memory that really stands out to me. We were able to forge such a special bond with Connor, and we got to, become such good friends, and we got to hang out and do things outside of Disney, which has been even more exciting. Yeah, you did. You are my favorite junior tour guide of all time. being able to have Connor as my junior tour guide.
If you are new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you're notified when our family adventures go live.
Without giving away too much magic, is there anything you can tell us about Disney that most people wouldn't know about? If you see a cast member wearing the name tag Chris from Orlando, you should ask them what their real name is, because chances are it's not Chris and they're not from Orlando. Out of anything on Disney property, attractions, parks, restaurants, resorts, where is your favorite place to be, past or current, and why? This is going to be a two-parter for me. If I had to go with past, I would say on the loading dock of the Great Movie Ride. There's just something about standing on that loading dock that just feels like something is about to happen. And as long as we worked there, something was always happening. Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, something was always happening. Currently, my favorite place, I was specialty trained at Magic Kingdom within PhotoPass to photograph the Grand Marshal of the Festival of Fantasy Parade as it came down Main Street. And that was, if there was one thing, one shift that I was like begging to do every day, it was that. Just seeing this family who is so excited to be there, following them down Main Street as they are, you know, presented to everyone visiting as the Grand Marshal, and being able to, you know, see them as the parade comes by. The Festival of Fantasy Parade at Magic Kingdom is my favorite offering that we have right now. And so just being able to get to watch the parade every day is really special, and being able to watch it through the eyes of our guests and being able to capture it for them is just something that's absolutely remarkable.
The boardwalk. It's always been my favorite, just because the aesthetic of like walking on the boardwalk is just classic and iconic.
Do you have a goal at your current position, or do you aspire to be something else at Disney?
I have kind of reached the end of my bucket list with Disney. I worked at both of my favorite attractions. The Great Movie Ride was my favorite attraction for the longest time. And then my current favorite attraction that's operating is the Carousel Progress, which I work now. So at the moment I don't have any specific goals, but I do still love working for the park.
If I continued with my current role, I think that eventually I would like to be a guest experience manager, because the guest experience managers obviously work closely with our guests to deliver an incredible experience and make sure they have an unforgettable vacation. But in addition, they also work really closely with the cast to make sure the cast are having a really good experience. And if there's a way that I could affect a positive change for the cast members and make sure that they are working to their fullest potential to make the magic for our guests, I think that that's something that would feel really rewarding. So I'd love to be a guest experience manager one day. I might like to try my hand at doing some floral designing for Disney. I am getting my certification to be a floral designer, so I think that that would be a really exciting opportunity.
That was our questions, but Connor has a special question that he wants to ask Courtney and Dexter.
What is your favorite ride?
That's a tough one. There's a lot of really great rides, and honestly, for me, it kind of depends on the park. But if I had to choose one, I would say Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin at the Magic Kingdom. I'm a galactic hero, and I know where all the big point spots are.
True, she does. She beats me every time. My favorite former attraction is the Great Movie Ride.
Of course, always
For
in our
sure.
hearts, R.I.P.
But my favorite currently operating attraction is right next door to Buzz, where I work, Carousel of Progress. It's a must go to every time I go to Magic Kingdom.
We just want to take this opportunity to thank Courtney and Dexter for sitting down with us and answering all of our immensely, incredibly difficult questions. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us on Cast Member Spotlight, and always remember,
Adventures out there.